Hello, welcome to the vlog. This is going to be a week of potpourri on the blog, and it's really going to talk a little bit about what these blocks are and what these are. Also a little bit of other creative things that I've been doing. So let's start out with the blocks behind my shoulder here. These blocks are some test blocks for the book Peace and Quilts with Pre-Cuts by Krista Watson. So we're going to do another blog hub. It's going to be 5 weeks starting September 18th. And in the book, I'm just going to flip through here, are several quilts that she has released on social media on Quilts in the Book. And these are testing blocks. And her instructions are very good and clear. I'd recommend the books. And also in the book, ooh, I knocked the camera. And also in the book are tips on, I'm going to show you a sneak peek. Almost dropped the book. Yeah, I'm not pro. Walking foot. That's the inside of the book. By the way, I did get my hair cut. My girl Summer did a great job. Now, it's a little curly on this side, but I think my hair just does what it wants to do. So, that's what these blocks are about. I will find out this week. Krista is running a poll on her Facebook page and blog about what blocks and what quilts people want to do in a quilt along, and then I'm going to be surprised with her fabric that is new and going to be out in November on making a quilt with those pieces of fabric. And I can't wait. I hope I get them this week. And I can't remember the name of the line. Something with marks in it. Well, I'll look it up. And then I will have that information in the description below. So anyway, Peace and Quilt with Pre-Cuts by Krista Watson. The book is out, and they're going to be doing, this one is squiggles, this is a star, this one is a chevron shape, and it's called Sealed with a Kiss or Swack, and this one is Gridworks. Those are samples of 4. Now the other things that I have been working on for me, there's several things that I've been making for customers and doing a couple of my own pieces, and then I was going to pick up to doing, I have several customer quilts to do in the house, and then I'm going to work on mine. I'm down to about 8 or 9 tops that I've made. I'm trying not to piece things until I get those caught up. So, what do you do in the meantime? What do you do in the evening? Well, this week I have a binding to finish, and that will be given as a gift, and I'll do a full post about that on the internet, but I'm going to try to do a video with parts of that. It's a big quilt, so it'll be hard to video the whole thing at once, but I'm going to try to get snippets of it, and you can check that out on Instagram as well as on my Creative Corner. So in this format, though, I want to share about what I'm doing now. And so I am continuing with a Harry Potter scarf. It is wide. It's supposed to be 10 inches wide, and it is. I got lost in miscounting the stripes. However, it is a Prisoner of Azkaban scarf. It's pretty wide, and it is knit in a tube. So all of my ugly ends are inside, and it can be scrunched up and doubly thick for those days when I'm snow blowing. Now, isn't that cool? I should wear this for the rest of the vlog, but it's a little warm for today. So, that's my Hogwarts scarf. The other thing that I've been working on is September is the beginning of pumpkin spice season. And I bought a funkin last year. Now, I'm not carving it, but I did take a little class last year on Zentangling pumpkins. All right, the sun came out and you have a nice little shine. Look at that. And so I've got 3 rows done, and I'm going to do every band a different Zentangle. Now if you look at this one, you can see I made it into spider webs. And these are my favorite swirly curlies. Oh, I love making those. So that is something I've also been working on. And then this project here is the More Than 4 quilt along. This is a quilt that will be given to Quilts for Cure. And Quilts for Cure is something I'm very involved with. And this quilt along is to generate these wonderful improvisationally pieced X blocks, and they're going to be donated to children who are fighting pediatric cancer. And if you want to join in, jump in, because these quilts, we're going to try to have them done by the end of the month and donated to a child or to a hospital. So more information, you can go to quiltsforcure.org or just find Quilts for Cure on Facebook. And I have lots of information on my other sites also, and I will put a link in the description also for Quilts for Cure. So those are some things I've been up to that I got all this information about here. But what else? You know, it's kind of been interesting because I'm trying not to piece so much, and I'm finding that I need to work on finding other things to do. So I'm going to finish up my Prisoner of Azkaban scarf, and I'm being part of the Harry Potter knit along, which is on Ravelry, and that's a year-long project, and you know, quite honestly, it might take me the rest of the year to finish that scarf. And you know, I think to even this out, I'm going to do 2 in the middle, and then another set of these 3. You know, the design opportunity, right? You know, never would I say that I, you know, made a mistake. I could have ripped it out, but why? You know, it'll be 3 bands here each side, and then I'll have the Prisoner of Azkaban. I'm going to put gold and the maroon trim at the bottom. Now, the funny story about this yarn is the gold I got last year. No, it was probably almost 2 years ago when I was in a monthly Yarn of the Month club from a local knit shop. Now, they needed some subscribers for the winter to help them make it through. She's still in business and doing well, and I felt like I was really part of a great thing. I liked getting the monthly surprise in the mail. So the wool blend is the gold, and as soon as I saw it, I was like, that is Harry Potter's Gryffindor gold. And if I could find the perfect maroon color, I'd make some sort of project. So I went to the store, and since I cannot wear a lot of wool because you see how red I get here, I bought a Bernat blend of acrylic yarn. And I'll tell you what, it was on clearance. It's the perfect shade, and it was 70 cents a skein. And they were like the big double skeins, so I bought 4 of them, and I thought, well, maybe I'll have enough to make a couple Harry Potter inspired themes. Been on Pinterest, which can be very dangerous for me, and I saw some really cute bags and some other Harry Potter and Gryffindor themed things like, you know, wristlets and hats, but I really liked this messenger bag that had the Gryffindor lion done in Fair Isle knit, and I thought that'd be great for a pillow, or you could do it as a true bag and sew in a lining. And one moment, I want to get another project for you. So another knitting project that I did was I needed something just as a fidget, and I wasn't sure what to do. So I had this fabulous skein of Lion brand Heartland, and I just knit into a really big rectangle. And I thought, what do we do with it? It's really too wide to do I was originally thinking of doing a button style cowl, but what I've decided is make a pillow by flipping it over and then having way cool buttons along this edge. like an envelope. And the other thing you could do with it, which I am still thinking about, is if you make a flap like that, you could put buttons on it. It would be a very cool project bag, or things for like Zentangle or art projects. So, fidgets. You can, ooh, I made it jiggle. Fidget projects, I need them. So that's why I went with the stockinette stitch scarf, because I had just come off of finishing making this tatted edging. Okay, tatting is very tedious and takes a lot of counting. So what my plan is to sew it along the finish. I'm going to finish this edge with a French seam, and then sew by hand. My great-grandmother's all tatted. I then make a little edging like that. They all had tatted towels in their kitchen. This is a long yardage of, it's a kitchen towel, but I might leave it super long for my table, or I might cut it up and make a couple different edgings. And my grandma's all had that on pillowcases and kitchen towels. So I wanted to wrap up this particular vlog with my haul from the AQS show. I drew a blank, isn't it something? Now I'm sharing the fabric. I did buy a little tiny long arm ruler, and I bought a book by Bonnie Browning called Zentangle to Go. And I just wanted to say I bought them, and see, my whole thing was I didn't want to spend more than $50, but I was impulsive and I spent $70 because I wanted to buy that book. It was so gorgeous, because I like doing Zentangle. It's very helpful for quilting and long arming and relaxing. So what did I buy? Well, my big regret last year was not buying the Cherry Woods Lion King fabric, and they had a whole line. I've seen cherry wood. I wasn't sure how people liked it, if it's hand dyed, if the dye stayed. Talked to a whole bunch of friends who wound up buying it over the course of the last year or so, and everyone raved about it. So I purchased the Van Gogh color set. Now I didn't do the challenge. Those winners are announced this week, but look at all these colors. They're all based on the Starry Starry Night painting that Van Gogh did. And so this was a challenge fabric, and I liked the fabric so much I was really hoping to buy it. So I did. But then they also have grab bags. Oh, look at that. Some of those Starry Nights. But when you get going here, look at all the color. There's pinks, and there is greens, and there's blues, and this white is not part of that. That was from something else. But when you look at the stack, what am I going to do with them? Because they're cutoffs. There was a grab bag of literally scraps. They're all roughly this size. You can see here. Well, I was thinking of making a half square triangle quilt. There was a popular one. It's a free pattern on Crafty that's been going around called Postcards from Sweden. I might do that. I'm going to try to mix these colors and see what they look like. Mine is going to be just a riot of color of these delicious fabrics. They're so much fun. So that was my haul. Now the long arm ruler I got is 8 inches, so it's perfect for my hands because I work in a smaller space a lot of times, and I have a really big ruler with a curved end, and it's great, but I need something small and quick that I can manipulate. The ruler work is relatively new, so I bought one last year at the show and didn't have a clue as to what I needed or how to use it. So this is going to be great because I can practice some different straight edge things for the blog hop that we're starting, remember, the 18th of September. And overall, I have lots of scraps going on. What am I going to do with all these test blocks? Well, one of my favorite things to do with test blocks is to put them in a sampler, but they're not all the same size. Doesn't matter. I can jigsaw them in and add filler strips, and it will be great. So I'm hoping at the end to have a quilt that I'm going to journal on, one of the quilts from the book with Krista's fabric, and this sampler over my shoulder. And don't forget, if you want to do some improvisationally pieced, let me grab this one off the wall here, X-Blacks. You can do that also with Quilts for Cure. This goes to a great charity. This will be super fun just to do it. Thanks everyone for watching, and I'll see you again in a couple of weeks.